Caleb, I'd be ready when you be ready.
So you know when you're driving down the road and that light comes on your dash and it says check your oil, you think, great, I have to change my oil and I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to have to go in, I'm going to have somebody do it for me, I have to pay him to do it, or I have to go to my dad and beg my dad to do it and listen to complain that he has to do it all the time, and later on when you ask him to do another favor, he goes, well, I already changed your oil, so they don't get your favor because you haven't do that, and it's just a big mess. So today, I'm going to teach you how to change your oil so you can avoid all of that. Right here is my dad's car, and I'm going to change the oil in his car. So what you're going to need is you're going to make sure you got to jack it up. You got to put jack stands under it in most supported places. Shake the wheel, make sure that it's good. Once you get underneath, you get a creeper, climb underneath it, you look over, and as you can see right here, that's the kind of bolt that you have to unscrew, and then once you unscrew that, oil will come out. So you're going to find a wrench that fits. Right now I got a 15mm Craftsman wrench. You make sure it fits, put it on there. What you want to show you got to do lefty loosey, righty tighty, everybody knows that rule. So you turn it left, make sure it's loose. Get it loosen up, you can start doing it with your finger, you know. Get loose, and then right now I'm trying to get my hand in position because when I get it out, oil is just going to come flying out. So I'm trying to get in position so I can really get my hand out of there quick. Get loosen it. And finally, you get to the point where you got to pull it out. There was all that comes out in the stream. I got oil on my hand. It's going to happen. Make sure you wear like dirty clothes, not nice clothes, because you're going to get dirty. And once you got that out, you let the oil all drain out. You can just kind of sit there, relax, wait till it all drains out, so it's like just barely dripping. You take the bolt, you put it back in there, you screw it back in with your hand, then you take the wrench, tighten it again. You don't have to like just crank on it, but you just make sure it's tight and snug. And then what you're also going to have to do is you're going to have to change your oil filter. So what I got here, is an oil filter wrench. It's specifically used to remove your oil filter. And right here I'm going to kind of show you how to use it. You're going to see that I didn't really actually turn it with the wrench. I'm kind of showing you how, because the oil filter is loose enough where I can just grab it with my hand and turn it. But if it was too tight where you couldn't grab it with your hand and turn it, you put this around it, make sure it's tight, and then loosen it up with this. So after you get it loose, you take your hands, you grab a hold of it, you start loosening it up until you pull it all the way off. And that's going to take you a little bit because it's kind of on there pretty good. So you turn it for a while until it finally comes off. Right when you start turning it, the oil's going to start coming out. Then you can see it's already starting to run out on my hands, going down my sleeve. That happens. And what you want to do when you do change your oil, you want to have your car running and then go in and park it and then turn it off, and then you want to change your oil right after that. You don't want your car to sit for a while then change your oil, because when you do, the oil is running around your engine and all that dirt and stuff. It doesn't sit at the bottom of your oil pan. It's all running into your oil. So if you turn off your car and then change your oil, you'll have all that dirt come out with it, so you can get fresher, cleaner oil than when you do it. And all that all that drain out of the oil filter. And then what I like to do is you take the new oil filter box and you take the new oil filter out, and then you take the old oil filter, put it in that box. You don't get oil all over your floor and whatnot. And you just put it aside and throw it away when you're done. My face is so good. Right here, what you're going to want to do is you want to take some oil that's like already drained out, and that rubber part that's right around the oil filter, you kind of want to like lube that up, because if you put it on there and you put it on without it, it's going to like catch on the metal and it's going to disform. So what you want to do is you want to lube it up so it creates a nice seal and it snugs up right on there so you don't have any oil leaking out or on your oil filter when you're driving your car. So you take that, you spin it around until it's tight, you kind of want to get it there. And the rule is, you don't want to take your oil wrench and tighten it up really tight. The rule is you take it with your hand and just tighten up your oil filter as tight as you can with your hands. And that's good enough.
What is the purpose? Do you snap it or anything, or if you tighten it too much?
If you tighten, it's not necessary, and just with your hand, that's tight enough. If you do it with your oil wrench, it's just going to be a pain to get it off later. You're going to have to change it every 3,000 miles anyway. So just tighten up with your hand so it's not a pain when you have to remove it.
That makes sense.
Right here, most cars take 5 quarts oil, and you can check that in the owner's manual. Like this car, it takes 5 quarts. You just find the engine oil. Remove that tab, take your 5 quarts of oil. You want to make sure you get your right kind of oil. Like cars have different kinds of oil that they use. Some trucks use different oil, and some cars and different cars, yada yada. You can check your owner's manual and say what kind of oil your car takes. Make sure you get your funnel ready, you get the right oil, and you dump however many. If you take 4 quarts, you dump 4 quarts in there. Same thing. Just take it, and since it's 5 quarts, I just take it and I dump all 5 quarts in there. And what you want to do is what I like to do is that oil pan that you have underneath to catch all the used oil that you had, I like to take that out, and then the bottle that I just used for all the new oil, I like to take that and dump all the old oil back into that. And then you can take your old oil and you can recycle it. You go to like maybe a dealership or some other place that recycles your oil instead of just like throwing it out in your grass, you know. Destroys the ecosystem, nature, whatever. It might be nice to hear. My main point is you want to change it every 3,000 miles. The only exception to that is if you have synthetic oil, and synthetic oil you can change it every 15,000 miles. It costs more, but you also want to change your oil filter if you have every 3,000, 5,000 miles if you have synthetic oil. But mostly you just want to change it every 3,000 miles, make sure your oil's clean and it helps your engine last longer, good for your car. You want your car supported. You don't want to be under there working on it and also just fall on your face, you die. So what you want to do is after you have your jack stands under there in supported places, kind of go to the side of your car, push it a little bit, go to the other side, push it a little more, and if it's stable, then you're good to go. Make sure it's the correct oil. Like I said, you can check the owner's manual and make sure you got the right kind of oil. It'll be like 10W30, 20W30, 30W50. It just depends. It'll tell you which kinds. You can go to the store. It will have this kind of device. You can punch in what kind of car you have, like the year, like 2007 Lamborghini Gallardo. And then it'll tell you what kind of oil filter you need for that car. And then just make sure you dispose your oil properly. And they can recycle it like Pennzoil. When you get Pennzoil oil, 50% of that oil is recycled oil and the other 50% is new oil. So they kind of use it to like help the world. And that's how you change your oil.
Little golf clap.